White right now, and he's going to drop tone in a second.
Got it.
What do you get?
5,000.
5K, Christian? All right.
Good.
And how about audio? Right now we have one fader up on that board. We don't really know how to use it. What's that? You getting me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got me in the transmission? 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. So we're good for pool. Yeah, that's why I'm dressed like this. Oh, I should. After tonight, I should. I can run in this stuff. It's pretty easy. It's a lot looser than my jeans. All right, so you're good for us? All right, man. Thank you. You good, Ollie?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Chris. All right. There.
You going out on pool, Chris?
Yeah, it's up. I put it out to the pool.
Hey, can you stand at the podium?
I put it out on.
Just stand right where he would.
Thank you. So, physical right? Shot on one as well, right? Yeah.
I'm inside the White House now. It's nearly 1.5 miles. I just reached, as I said, the president just reached a while back. He's inside the White House complex. I'm inside the White House restroom now. Where they're preparing for.
Chris Becker, you need.
As I mentioned earlier, he wanted to get back on the.
Okay, mic check's good. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. Thank you.
Did you get it?
was backstage.
Defiant. Where was that?
This guy just tweeted it.
Okay, guys, if you're here, we're just waiting for President Dumpy Pence to get on and talk about how somehow people got through the outstanding defense, outstanding protection by our Secret Service into a hotel at the White House Correspondents' dinner. So what you're watching here now is kind of a rerun, and as we're waiting for him to show up to the podium, he's going to talk about how how he's lucky that he doesn't have to put a tampon on his ear anymore. There will be no tampons on the ear this time. Just so you know, it's okay. There are no tampons on the ear. No other people were hurt. So let's see here. We're going to just have a camera on the podium here.
Christian, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1, 2,
1,
3,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10. This is
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
outstanding
4, 5,
coverage.
6. David Spunt. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hey, Ouija, nice job. 1, 2. 1, 2. Are you okay? 1, 2. Are you okay? Okay. Good. 1 2 1
Here's
2.
what the scene looked
1
like
2 1 2.
just
You guys
about
good?
an hour ago.
Good?
I'm going to show you what the
Yep.
scene looked like just about an hour ago. This was the scene. Why we're having a live conference by the president at the moment is because this at the dinner, at the correspondence dinner, somebody started shooting. There were 6 shots fired. It has been confirmed that the gunman has been apprehended. So that's good. I like to see that. I don't want them to be killed because that always leaves too much room for interpretation and conspiracy. Now we actually get to find out motive, have questioning, interrogation. That's what I like to see. Unfortunately, it's ridiculous that while the president is there, someone was allowed to bring a gun in there. Now, here's the 3 different options. 1, it came from outside with it, and that breach of security was ridiculous. Number 2, it came from outside, but had the weapon inside the hotel already hidden. If that's the case, that breach of security is ridiculous. There was no sweep done before the president got there. Here's the 3. Number 3, the person came from inside. They already worked there. They planned on being there. They worked there. They could be anyone from a server to a door greeter and had the weapon with them in their locker. Now, this is the 3 options. Any one of those 3 options is unheard of in a place. Unheard of in a place. And here goes this guy, USA. They're yelling USA. They're waiting for him to come up with his fist and say fight. This is a show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. 25 seconds later, everybody runs. A daggone show to these imbeciles. What you're watching now is what happened earlier. The president was rushed to the White House. He was okay. Somehow, it went from Secret Service to a plethora of men, if you look here, that have long guns, have SWAT gear and helmets, which is kind of unheard of inside of a place like this. All of them should be outside on a roof somewhere. If that's what your purpose is, how did someone get in here? We don't know. This is in the under the background, under the backlighting of questions about the first time somebody tried to shoot president, and he had to wear the tampon on his ear. Everything is one continuous clown show. This doesn't happen on any other presidency, whether it's a false flag or real. This is a constant show of incompetence. I'm not going to be on here live. I have meetings to get to, but I am going to show you live the press conference from the beginning to the end, and you can watch it here. I've given a full breakdown of what we saw happen, of all the commentators, and my assessment as someone who understands the security apparatus, how I believe it's been breached, on a whole different show. You can look on the one I posted just before this. I went in all of that. This will just be showing the press conference live. I'm going to go to it now and leave you to it so you can watch it for yourself. See when this actually happens. Thank you for being a part of this. Okay, still waiting on him to show up. What I'll do, here's what happened earlier. So my hat's there. Y'all not ready for that. This is what happened earlier. We're waiting on the president to give his insight. Talk about what happened. Look at all those people there in that gear that just rushed out. It's amazing that you have people inside of the ballroom with this type of gear where that is usually not expected. This is antithetical to the idea of security. To have these people in there is antithetical to the idea of security. The reason why Secret Service wear things like button downs and ties is so that they don't cause stress or fear, so that they don't cause a reaction. These people being inside the ballroom is so unlike anything that should be done, as these people should have been outside of the building. People who dress like this are on rooftops or in bushes, are guarding corners, are guarding driveways, entrances. The fact that someone has came in there with all of this while these guys are inside is an absolute, and people yelling USA, it's a debacle. People are going to say it's false flag. People are going to, it's too early to tell. I'm just here to tell you that this is a debacle. Either way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What a debacle. We're waiting on the president to go up. As soon as he's on the podium, I will go to that feed. The guy, he says the one on the right points at RFK with their firearm. Yeah, this is. I mean, I'm not sure who they're hiring for these positions. It used to be the best of the best. Now it's just, donut eating, mountain dwelling, 3%ers, Proud Boys. I guess are now doing the security for the presidency. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. As soon as the president shows up on the podium, when he's giving his press conference, I will go to that feed. I have it here. I'm looking right at it. And then I will leave you to it. I want you guys to see it in its full entirety. What I can do is let you see what it is that my reaction to it. My reaction to it as a veteran, as a friend of people who are literally Secret Service, as someone who understands, hey, Michelle, I got you. I promise you. I haven't forgotten about you, Michelle. I just want to make sure that people are going to be able to see this live feed. Instead of replaying what we're seeing now over and over again, what I'm going to do is show you my original thoughts until the president gets on until the president gets on screen, till he gets on the podium. I'll be watching until then. Once he gets on the podium, I will leave you to it. I'll let you see it. Take a look at this, and you'll see my reaction to it. And once he gets on the podium, we'll break from this for you to see.
Start hearing gunshots in the hall right near me. The next thing I knew, a police officer threw me to the ground and was on top of me. And I was listening and watching what was going on. And apparently they got the gunman.
We are live. We are live. Do not be fooled. I'm
What's up,
just showing you
YouTube?
my
Joe
thoughts.
Sargent here, and what you just heard was Wolf Blitzer's account of a gunman at the hotel outside of the ballroom of the Washington Correspondents dinner. Now, this is, I'm going to be careful. I'm going to try my hardest to be careful and give you the news, but this has been reported by Status Quo live, and I'm going to give you a bunch of videos that they have curated already. I'm going to give you some ideas that I have about it, but at first, it's important to know that what you heard was Wolf Blitzer on CNN. So this isn't just one or two news outings, news outlets talking about this. This has obviously, in the midst of a giant
We are live.
correspondence dinner with every news station there, you can't miss.
So you know we are live. If you're just tuning in, we are live. We're waiting for the president, Dumpy Pants, to show up on his podium to tell us what he thinks happened. We'll see if he's wearing a tampon on his ear this time. But the shooting happened outside of the ballroom, although inside the ballroom were paramilitary men in headgear and flak jackets. But outside of the ballroom, someone still got in the hotel with a gun. Everything about this says debacle. Unlike most people who will tell you that this means it's fake, I'm not saying that. I don't think that it's. No, I'm not. I don't know if it's fake or not. There's no way to tell. I do know that everything about this is a debacle. Everything about this is the wrong way to be done. Period. Those type of guys don't go inside the ballroom because it's antithetical to security. Security, the idea, is to ensure that the people around are calm, collected, that there isn't a perceived threat, because that causes people to panic. That's why the Secret Service wears suits and ties. It doesn't mean that they don't have vests on. It doesn't mean that they're not well armed. It means that it's hidden for a reason. And the first people that show up are people in gigantic helmets and long guns. Where were they? Inside the ballroom? Well, then who was outside the ballroom? How did this guy get in? Those people are the ones who are supposed to be on the roof. I said that there's 3 points of entry. One is the man came outside, from outside into the hotel with the weapon. Point of entry 2, the man came in earlier, hid the weapon, and then came in from the outside so as to not be checked by security. That's still a debacle because a full sweep of all crevices, corners, tactical entries, and holding places should be done hours before the president ever got there. If that was the case, it's still a debacle. Point of entry 3, the person worked there, came there that day, decided to stay, and maybe kept the weapon in a locker. That's a debacle. If you've ever met anybody who's had to deal with this Secret Service come around at any time, they ask so many questions, from the joint that you smoked in 1979 to the wrong pair of socks that you stole as a 15-year-old from Walmart. The type of vetting and security that goes on, and people who are allowed to even be working that day. But the difference is you have been guided and led by a Kash Patel, by a friends of Donald Trump, Secret Service, FBI, policing. And this is the debacle that you get. All three ideas are fugazi, should never have happened. None of this, ever. Unless it's an inside job. And that's why the conspiracy theories will abound. But we'll find out more. All I can tell you is what I know. All I can tell you is what I know. Let's watch my original.
I find that to be curious. I find it to be curious. In the place with every news center, every news outlet there, the time that Prince Dumpy Pants has found himself there for the first time in any of his years in office. Unfortunately, that's the actual phrase. First time he ever goes, this happens. Where's the security? What's happening with the metal detecting? How has this happened? But anyway, what you heard was Wolf Blitzer. What I'm going to do is play you a few more videos, give you the rundown, and we'll talk afterwards.
Hey, it's Jordan with Status Quo. Breaking news tonight from the White House Correspondents' dinner as a gunman opened fire. As of
yes,
now,
we're live. We're waiting on Trump to get
gunman,
on the podium.
right outside the ballroom where the main event is happening. You have hundreds of journalists, media people, and the president and the first lady were in there as a gunman opened fire right outside the ballroom. We'll get into how a gunman got a gun into the hotel where this event is being held. Smash the like button, share this, as obviously this is breaking news. The president was rushed out with the first lady. And as of now, there's conflicting reports. The gunman was definitely stopped. There's some reports he's dead, others that he's been shot.
It has been confirmed by the most unreliable source of all, which is the United States government, that the gunman is not dead. He has been caught, and I guess we'll hear more about that when President Dumpy Pants gets onto the podium, which I will bring to you as soon as he comes.
But you have to walk up these stairs and walk out, and which I was doing. And as I was walking back towards the door to get back into the big area where the event was taking place, all of a sudden, I start hearing gunshots in the hall right near me. And the next thing I knew, a police officer threw me to the ground and was on top of me. And I was listening and watching what was going on. And apparently they got the gunman who had a major weapon there.
Be sure to look out for me. There is a cost to this. It's super late. If you want to give a super thanks or a super sticker or whatever it's called, I would surely appreciate it. Help this independent media keep it going.
Who are stunned out, and that's what happened. And then after a while, they let me out. I'm back in the ballroom, but everything's apparently closing down. Very scary incident. All of a sudden, a guy with a weapon, and it was a very, very serious weapon, he starts shooting. And I happened to have been a few feet away from him as he was shooting. And of course, the first thing that went through my mind is he trying to shoot me. And I don't think he was trying to shoot anybody. I shot fired. And it was very, very scary, but I'm okay now.
Secret Service rushing to get Trump out.
It's important that you see this part. Look at this. Look at this. Secret Service comes up, looking around. They don't do anything. They're asking him to get up. They don't pull him. They don't drag him. Thank you to Real Sliced Bread. Thank you so much.
Let's give another angle on that where you could see the president whisked out.
This is the strangest thing. Look at this. Look at these people in SWAT gear and helmets. Where were they? At every entrance? Why were
Now,
they
let me show
inside
you
the
a
ballroom?
photo. This is
That's
from
not
the
how
New
you
York
dress
Times.
as
Credit to
security.
them. So you see, it's hard to know. I don't know if those are Secret Service or police. That's outside the ballrooms. Again, shooter, open fire outside the ballroom.
Okay, so there you heard.
That's not Secret Service, and if it is, it's antithetical to everything that the security is about. Not only have I been in the military, not only do I know people in Secret Service, not only have I done regular security for movies and entertainment, the idea is to not dress like that inside of a ballroom, because those people cause chaos, fear. Those people cause panic. The reason why you dress a certain way as Secret Service with a button down and a tie everywhere you go with some shiny shoes is to deter panic, because panic is more dangerous than the gunman. Why are those people in helmets and riot gear inside the ballroom? And if that's the case, who's outside the ballroom? How could they be in there and that guy have a way to get inside the hotel? Everything about this is antithetical to proper security. It's a debacle, whether it's real or fake.
Wolf Blitzer talk. There you saw the response that was given. People who were already in military dress, who were already had bulletproof vests and helmets on, jump over the table. I find that to be strange. I happen to know a few people from Secret Service, and that's not how they dress. That's also not how you prepare or coordinate.
I hear you, Ken Dog. They feel more comfortable in the police state. Well said.
Inside of a place that has news.
And in a certain way it did, because the fact that they just...
Okay, here we go. Here it is.
Just unified. I saw a room that was...
Oh, wow. I already know where we're going with this. Wow. Here we go.
Well, thank you very much. That was very unexpected, but incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement. And this was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did, because the fact that they just unified. I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons, and he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity. I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now. Put out on Truth and put out on many other platforms. A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf. Really did a great job. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He is has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him, and he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does, Secret Service agent. And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, it's not a particularly secure building. And I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150
Oh,
years. For
wow.
lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need love.
Nope. That's why you're not watching mainstream media. I will not let that go. We can watch the rest of it. There's no need to do his lives live. You just now, no matter what I said before, that's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. Trump said he wanted to show up to this. He's never showed up to one of these before. We'll get back to it. He's never showed up to one of these before. In 2 terms. First time he shows up, he says he's going to leave early because someone was going to get an award for their reporting on Epstein files. And immediately before he even gets to speak, this happens. He's fine, and there happens to be armed guards inside the ballroom, not outside. Like I said, the people who dress like that are on rooftops and corners. They're not inside. It's antithetical to security. People inside are meant to dissuade panic. They wear suit and ties, and their gear is underneath. Now, did they pay someone to do this? That's not the case. More than likely, they let this happen. They saw someone who was going to do something dumb and let it happen so that they could make it a case for why they need the ballroom. I said it. I was waiting for that before I said anything else. I've been very careful all night. Let's watch.
Levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the courage of law enforcement, the law enforcement, and working with the DC police. And just spoke with the mayor. And when we're finished, the police chief is going to take over and discuss it also from their viewpoint. But they also performed exactly as they were supposed to. And you see the attacker in different positions, but you also see the attacker totally subdued and under control. So as you know, this is not the first time in the past couple of years that our republic has been attacked by a would-be assassin who sought to kill. In Butler, Pennsylvania, less than 2 years ago, you all know that story. And in Palm Beach, Florida, a few months after that, we came close. We really had, again, we had some great work done by law enforcement. But in light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our difference peacefully. We have to resolve our differences. I will say, you had Republicans, Democrats, independents, conservatives, liberals, and progressives. Those words are interchangeable, perhaps, but maybe they're not. But yet everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd. There was a record-setting group of people. And there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed by that. But First Lady and I were taken very well care of, very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President
He's
J.D.
too
Vance
old.
was
He's going to
here,
make
was
a mistake.
likewise
Listen.
beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like to ask Todd Blanche to come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person. And we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, and I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House correspondence. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer.
As long
So
as they
I just
don't
want
have
to
the
thank
Epstein
everybody
girl
that was
there.
involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say I've been seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So
This
Todd
is
Blanche, I'd like
unbelievable.
to say a few words, and then we're going to have cash. And then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady for, that was a rather traumatic.
Okay, real quick. This is why you watch this instead of the regular media. We can watch this. It's just paused. It'll be back. More importantly, understand that a tiger doesn't change his stripes. What you're seeing here is unlike anything you've ever heard from Donald Trump. After he got shot in the ear, supposedly, he said, fight, fight, fight immediately and was on the attack. This time, he wasn't even shot, and he is graceful. There is something amiss. There is a strategy afoot. You have to see when things are different in people who are 80, it's because of a reason. I like to thank the media. You have all been very responsible. He's been calling them the enemy of the people for 12 years. There is something afoot. I don't know what it is, and I'd be remiss to tell you. But it is afoot.
Experience for her. There was a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to stay tonight. I will tell you, I fought like hell to stay. But it was protocol.
I'm sure he did want to stay.
Because they didn't know there was a lot of action going on, and they didn't know could there be probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly. They have it very well under control. So I want to thank everybody very much. And Todd Blanche, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You saw the very worst by the actions of that coward that the president just talked about. But you also saw the very best because you saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very shortly, and you'll see law enforcement do exactly what we want them to do. And so I echo what what President Trump just said, that we are extraordinarily grateful and appreciative of the men and women of law enforcement that did their jobs tonight, including one who was injured. This investigation is ongoing. I expect you will see charges filed shortly. The charges should be self-evident given the conduct, but as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges surrounding the shooting, around the possession of firearms, and anything else that we can get on this guy. The investigation is obviously ongoing and just started. There is federal law enforcement already working on search warrants and doing their job, and I don't want to get ahead of them and don't want to get ahead of the work that they're doing even as we speak. Director Patel and I were just on the crime scene a short while ago, and everybody in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job. I know that the police chief is going to give an update from the scene as soon as we're finished here, and I obviously will lead the details of what they have learned to him. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody in this room for the courage. And I want to thank President Trump for his words, and I promise you, justice will be served. Thank you, Dr. Patel.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Mr. President. The president's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them the resources that they need, and they know that you have their.
God, I can't. Shut up. Shut up. You absolute tap dancing mongrel. Everybody else has something to say, even if it's a lie that has worth. and you turn to look at his face. You turn to him and say, because of you, the guy is 80 and asleep standing up. Why? What about what you did had to do with him? You're trying to save your job. All right.
Back. And that is a changing dynamic in this country. And that's why you saw brave Secret Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel. Thanks to our interagency partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI was rapidly deployed onto the scene, took over the evidence response unit, is examining all the ballistics that were found on scene to include the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as we speak. You will hear from.
Thank you. Thank you, Fiddleminger. I appreciate that. It's important that you guys understand that news can do this too. Keeping something live just to be live is not of value without interpretation, without someone explaining history, context, nuance. I can press play at any time and it'll be here for you. I promise you. Don't be fooled by the idea that we have to just let them speak live. When lies are happening, you have to stop it, explain that, and press play. That's why we're here. That's why it's independent media. I'm not fooled by the need to be first. What we're watching is things that need to be broken down to the people. By whatever little bit of understanding I have, I'm to give it to you. This guy is a clown, bootlicking Sambo. Probably going to get demonetized for that. But that's important to know. It's important to know all of the ill-fitting words that Trump just said. It's important to understand the different aspects of his personality that have not been shown, as important as what has been shown. He is on a different playing field. He has a script and stuck to it. You let me know the last time he did that. Something is afoot. It's not my job to say what it is until I know. But I can tell you, when you're talking about the fact, the first thing he came out with is why we need a ballroom after the courts just struck down his ballroom. Why there are people there in helmets and flak jackets that are supposed to be outside, not inside. That's not how security works. These things are things that you need to assess. I'll continue with the live coverage.
From our team on the scene there with the mayor and the head of the FBI field division there. But please note what the Attorney General has just said reigns no truer. You saw the very best of America tonight. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty, because we have leadership here with the president, the vice president that backs law enforcement, and the men and women that I shook their hands on the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI.
That's the same thing they said about the Epstein files. If you have any information, call FBI. You have the person in custody. That's not what you say then. That's not what you say then. This is your go-to. Listen, guys, you have to understand. You can hold two not contradicting, but two truths in your head at the same time. That's what adults do. What you're watching here, it is true that it is unlike any other press conference that would have come after this that's above board. It's not a fact that it's faked. It's not a fact that it's a false flag. It is a fact that what you're watching is unlike any other press conference that would have come from a professional administration that's above board. That's what I'm telling you. And you can go back and rewind and see why I said that. That's why I stop it, to say the things as I see them. It might just hit you different. You might see something different that you didn't expect to see. Or that may have passed you by. That's why we exist. That's why independent media exists. Man, you know what? I'm going to let it go. You guys watch it. I'm not going I'm not going to fast forward or anything. You guys continue to watch it as it unfolds. But this is why I'm here, and I'm here for you. If you want to help to donate, to do a super sticker or a super chat to ensure that media like this continues on, and you don't have to rely on the live feed from MS Now, who's not stopping it and giving you context, and is going to wait till it's too late to give you the context 2 days later. When it's too late, this is why we exist. We can press play anytime, and you'll watch the whole thing. It's not that important to see it as it happens. It's more important to get the context while it's being said, not 2 days later. If you want to help independent media, me and others, that is cool. It's crazy out here with the live coverage. Dollar support it, support it, support it. I'll press play.
Piece of information is inadequate. We will evaluate it all. We will also be conducting interviews of those that were there. And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to law enforcement or the FBI or the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining this individual's background thoroughly. That process has already started. And we are going to ensure that he was either a lone wolf actor or anyone else that was responsible. We will analyze all evidence immediately to make sure that we safeguard this country. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership. Attorney General and Homeland Secretary Merlin, thank you for your partnership in law enforcement.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, we'll do a couple and then we go to the chair. Madam Chairman, I just want to say you did a fantastic job. What a beautiful evening, and we're going to reschedule. And after that, it's very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done a fantastic job. Please.
Mr. President, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats, in that moment when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's a very good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. Happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. The fact we were sitting right next to each other, First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really got him. But so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew.
Probably should have gone down even faster. What a piece of shit.
Immediately what happened, she was saying, that's a bad noise. And we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand there was protocol. But we're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner, and I am ready, willing, and able. And I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made if I said one. So I'll have to save it. I don't know if I could ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice. I'll be very boring the next time, but we're going to have a great event. And you did a
It's very important to notice that he does not have a tampon on his ear at the moment. Thank your lucky stars that he doesn't have a tampon on his ear at the moment. It's okay. all MAGA. You don't have to go buy one immediately to copy him like you did at the RNC convention. There is no tampon on the ear of the president at the moment. Breaking news.
Fantastic job. Thank you very much. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Before we get that answer, this guy has become a really good comedian reporter. This is the son of the guy who's on morning Fox News idiocy. He keeps asking these questions because he's trying to distance himself for an actual career while still being subservient to the king. What a question. This guy assembled his weapon on site. I said there's 3 points of entry. One is he came inside, the assailant came inside with the weapon from outside. That's ridiculous, unbelievable. That's a debacle, breach of security. Second is he came in without the weapon, came in earlier to hide the weapon. A ridiculous breach of security. Because once the president gets there, anyone who's dealt with Secret Service knows that the sweep happens for hours. Every crevice, every crab hole, every corner, the ceilings, the panels, the drawers, and the chairs. That would be ridiculous that it would be hidden. It's a better idea than walking in with it, sure. Lastly, the person works there and kept it in their drawer or on their person. Equally as ridiculous. Anyone who dealt with the Secret Service anytime before understands that you are vetted from. You can't even show up to work on the day of if you've ever stolen a sock at 16 from Walmart. Let's go.
Well, you know, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful
What the hell?
people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country. And there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
And after Butler, your team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink
No.
indoor?
Well, but then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to, it is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. You know, he charged from 50 yards away. So he was very far away from the room.
And what do you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving. And the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn literally by the time he was there. They were shooting.
That's right.
I thought they were very impressive.
Hey, Fiddleminger says something very important. They tried to unsubscribe him from my channel. That happens every single day. Every single day. We lose 5 to 10 for no reason. There's no analytics that show it. There is no video that has minus subscribers on it. If I say the reason why, I'll get taken off. So I'll let you infer the reason why. Please check if you're a subscriber. Please check that you're still subscribed. People are mysteriously being unsubscribed every day. 5 to 10 at a time. Please check. And if you're not a subscriber, why not? Come on, man.
If I didn't, I'd let you know. I'm not going to be. I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the
Thank you.
suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats? Was your team aware of any threats beforehand? And do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy. And, you never know. It was very far away from me. I had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table. Who knows? But we had people all over the room. So he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of defense, and they got him. And they really, they acted incredibly. No, there was no notification. We had no idea. Go ahead,
Do you know
Kate.
any political motivations from this?
Well, you never know. No, we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. He's in custody, and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over, Todd, and they're already at his apartment. He lives in California.
Yes, sir.
And they're over there, so they'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Caitlin.
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
No, I mean, he was a guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. They had him down. He was fighting hard. He was in my opinion, a sick person. Who would do that but a sick person? But I think you're going to find everything about him. No reason to talk about it now. But tomorrow at this time, long before this time, you're going to know a lot of things about him. They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and I feel that too.
Are you concerned about U.S. Secret Service protection ability? We saw several of the detailees take minutes to be escorted out the room.
No, they acted very quickly. No, I was very impressed by Secret Service. I mean, I'm the one, and Mark Wayne, you would agree with that, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Oh, believe me, because, it's my life. And I want to live because I want to make this country great. That's why I want to live. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to the war in Iran?
I don't think so, but you never know. We're going to know a lot. We have the best people in the world working on it, and we're going to know a lot. Please.
Mr. President, there's a lot. There's you, as well as some of us who have covered Butler, experienced another horrific day 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What felt similar? You had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have another 2+ years in office. Are you concerned about something like this happening?
Well, I
again?
can't be concerned. I can only get great people. They did the job.
I'm done. Are you done? I'm done. I think we've got everything we need. What did this come from Iran? I mean, these people are the worst. No one has asked why weren't the people in helmets outside the hotel. No one has asked how. The only person I'm gonna tell you what. The worst part about this is, what is his name? Brian Kilmeade, or the guy whose son is there, who's a Fox News guy, was the only one who asked, how did this guy get to assemble his weapon inside the hotel? The only one who had a decent question was the one who's from daggone Fox News. What are we doing? MSNBC? What are we doing, CNN? No one asked who was on the rooftops. How did he get in? Was it a worker? Why were there so many people inside of the ballroom that had tactical gear and helmets on and not outside of the ballroom? Who was the one who pulled you away? Were they Secret Service? Were those police officers? How close was the gunman when he shot the shots? Where did he get the firing? Where did he get the weapons from? Did you have metal detectors? There are so many questions that have not even been touched. And you ask, do you think it's about Iran? How is your ear, dear President? Our media is failing us. Failing us. I'll have more as days go on. As more information comes out. I've given you what we have live. If you look at the video before this, I've given you an assessment as far as security is concerned. We're here. You're not alone. We're here. You're not alone. Dollamore is here. You're not alone. Status quo is here. You're not alone. The dildo delegation, dildo distribution delegation is here. You're not alone. Sons of Liberty is here. You're not alone. They are not all that exists. Don't give up. Just keep on the fight. We're with you. We will get this back. Have a good one, guys.